in my lab, we study CRISPR-Cas systems, which are bacterial immune systems. So we think of bacteria as agents of infection for us, but they themselves have pathogens against them, like viruses. And as a result, just like humans, they have evolved immune systems. And so CRISPR-Cas is an immune system in bacteria that helps them to defend themselves against viruses. So it's a really important concept that we really understand how these two microbes actually interact with each other. An additional importance of CRISPR-Cas, and one that a lot of people may have heard of before, is that it's a really great biotechnology tool. So what CRISPR is really this really targeted mechanism for cutting DNA and introducing changes into it. And this has huge implications in a lot of different areas in human therapeutics, in agriculture. The dark things are the proteins. Being from Detroit, I really grew up around a lot of engineers, including my father, who was an automotive engineer. He worked for Ford. When I was in high school, I got a chance to work at Ford in an internship. And during that time, made me realize that I wasn't really actually that interested in automotive engineering and was much more interested in scientific research. Research is just, in my opinion, the most exciting thing that one could do. We're always trying to ask novel questions that we don't already have an answer to. And so when you ask those questions and when you actually find answers to them, you have this really unique position where you are the only person in the world, out of all the people who ever lived in the world, who knows that information. And so that's a very addictive feeling. It's a really wonderful and exciting way to live your life. My group is really interested in proteins and protein complexes and DNA complexes that are involved in CRISPR immunity. So this is the first CryoEM facility that has opened in Iowa and also in neighboring states. One of the things about CryoEM that's really exciting, it's a microscopy technique. So it is a microscope, and we can shine a light on it. It's an electron beam. And because it's a very, very small beam, it can actually visualize very, very, very small particles. I remember the first time that I looked through the binoculars of an electron microscope at the sample that I had prepared, and I was just blown away by it. I felt emotional, I have to say. So really, really powerful instruments, very cutting edge instruments, very expensive instruments, which is why it took us a while to get them here, but also ones that I think are really going to advance research at Iowa State.